Hmm. My final thoughts. Well, I learned a lot tonight. Um, I learned that we as men have a lot of responsibilities and we carry a lot of weight that nobody really talks about and nobody really puts thought into. And I understand that as a man, I have to be useful. So I guess my final thought would be learn how to be useful to your family as long as it doesn't hurt you in the process. That would be it. The rest of everything else I'm learning, which is why I did a lot of listening tonight and not a lot of talking. So yeah, that would be my final thought.
Hey, so real quick, going back to the beginning again, you have to have a clear definition and a clear identity of what manhood is before you go into being a responsible family man. Once you have a clear definition of what manhood is, you need to understand what a family man is all about, right? So again, look at those who went before you. Look at your father if your father's a good role model. Look at your grandfather. Look at uncles within your family dynamics. You see the things that they do. Have a good model to follow. If you don't have a good model to follow, there's nothing wrong with going on a journey to learn. Learn what that looks like. Once you have a good understanding of that, then you actually understand that again. And I keep stressing this piece that responsible men are not challenged by the people that's on their ship. The challenges that they will face will equate to navigating this thing called life and keeping the family ahead of the bell curve. So making sure that you're making decisions within the scope of your family based upon your priorities so that you can put your position put the family in the best possible position as well as empowering people within your household.
I would say, as far as becoming a man and who you are as a man, I think learn the duties of a man. Right, learn the duties of the man. It's right across the board, generally speaking, what a man's duty is, and become that man. Now, after that, discover who the man you want to be. Right, the man that you see yourself being in the future, present, whatever it is. Develop your entire personality, your skills, what it is you need to do to reinforce being a man. But the duties of a man is undisputed, right? So you already know that. Find out what they are, and then become that man, and then become the man you want to be. After that, it's communicating that to everybody on the outside, because you can only control what you do within your circle. But outside of that, you have to be willing to stand your ground and communicate that with everybody. It's okay to be selfish with your time. It's your time. It doesn't belong to anybody. Not everybody's not supposed to like you. Nor do you want everybody to like you, right? Sometimes they need to feel you so it could listen to you. That's how I see it, right? Now, if you want it, you have to go for it and discover what you need in order to get it. But communicate that and be willing to be responsible for the outcome of your actions. Take full responsibility. Don't say it if you don't mean it, because you can't take it back. You said it, right? So take full responsibility of what comes out of your mouth. Back it up. And when you could back it up, now you're standing as a man on your word, your principles, your morals, your values. I was fortunate enough to have two parents in the household, the strictest dad possible. Do I wish he was softer in some areas? Absolutely. But I know the role of my mom and I know the role my dad played. So it was easy for me to go to each one for what I needed. Find that in your own life. If you don't have a dad, find a mentor. Find somebody that can instill these things in you, because there is a right way to do something, and you do come of an age to know what's right and what's wrong. If you have to decide in the middle, then you know you're confused, and ask somebody. Right, and just remember one thing: leadership is not ego. Right, leadership is knowing how to process what the information you get in order to designate that to everybody. All right, just that's a key thing right there, and I think people need to know that leadership is not ego.
What?
Leadership is not ego.
What?
Leadership is not ego.
There we go. Yeah, I got a PowerPoint presentation real quick. No, I'm just joking. I got to throw my little quibs in there. But first and foremost, men being responsible to their families. Always be seeking self-improvement and improvement for your family. And always, you got to have a listening ear and a listening heart for your family. because when you aren't listening and they're growing, you aren't necessarily doing your part, because you got to know and identify how they're growing and where they have needs also. And you have to make sure you're developing a family unit. These brothers, hey, they spoke eloquently and said everything that I was thinking when it concerns becoming a man and a man of family, because you're responsible. You have to be responsible not just for yourself, but responsibility to your family, to your community. And when you can be responsible in front of your family and they can actually see it, you are developing them without even speaking, because they listen and they watch. So while they're listening and watching, and they can see how you move and how you handle people, how you deal with circumstances. That's why you see a lot of these little kids, they be going to school and they start cursing and things like that, because they watch their parents. So they think this is the way I respond. So note that they're watching you, and always seek self-improvement. Then you can start your journey as a productive family man. And the first part of that is being a man.